Hello! In today's video I'm going to go over setup and installation as well as simple usage of ShortPixel. So ShortPixel is one of my favorite plugins for WordPress that allows you to optimize your images for better, quicker delivery, page speed, and basically smaller sizes. Now, something that needs to be said about image optimization the very beginning, from the very get-go, you need to understand that while as soon as you optimize images for page speed, you might lose so-called EXIF data. Now, what EXIF data is basically all the details that your camera or phone record inside of the image about that image, location, setup, and all of that. So when you lose that information, quite often you might accidentally optimize your images from ranking for image searches. Now, EXIF information, if you're not solely focused on ranking in image search with your images, EXIF data isn't really needed. That's why it's worth removing it. I'll show you what that option in ShortPixel is, what it does, and how to use it. So, what I did here, I basically installed a demo site where I'm going to, from the very beginning, show you how to install ShortPixel. Now, this demo here, I think it's basically delivered in my with my service provider through Plesk, and I installed a template called OceanWP. By the way, for a free template, it's pretty good. Now, before we jump into installing ShortPixel, let's have a look at my library. So, with the demo of OceanWP, there isn't many images, but anyways, there are some, so we'll see how much we can optimize them. Now, to install ShortPixel, you just need to go to plugins, type in ShortPixel, and usually it will be the first one that comes up, called ShortPixel Image Optimizer. Let's install it now. And while it's happening in the background, I'm just grabbing my license key. Now, you can use ShortPixel as a free version, but you might, if you obviously want to optimize more images, you will need a premium version. ShortPixel is really affordable, so I really encourage you to get at least, I don't know, 5,000 image optimizers as a one-off to see how it works. I copy-pasted the wrong one. Okay, this is us. We're already here, and now something that I really want to emphasize is you will probably do a much better job than you're doing currently when you just install ShortPixel and go with the default settings. However, since there are so many things to work on in ShortPixel and to select from, that's where this tutorial comes really handy. Okay, so getting back to this, once you put in your API key, and by the way, there was an option to receive a free API key, which I think allows you to optimize around 50 images or 100 images. Once you do that, you'll have access to all these options. Now, let's go by each one of them one by one. So, in terms of the compression type, I usually go with lossy compression. If you really want your images to not lose like even a tiny bit of quality, you can go with lossless. But the thing is, once you optimize all of your images with lossy, you can't go back. Okay? And obviously there's a little link here that takes you to ShortPixel image compression online. This is like an online tool where you can basically drag and drop your images to compare how they look like in all three of these compression types. Now, if you also want ShortPixel to include thumbnails, this is the option here. Basically, it's quite tricky sometimes, because sometimes WordPress generates like even 10 thumbnails out of each single image. So if you have a lot of them and you don't have a premium plan, you might want to skip this option. Now you can also select that ShortPixel saves a copy of your original images as a backup. This is in case you wanted to go back from the compression level you've done, or you just wanted to restore your original images. Remove EXIF data. This is the option that I was talking about earlier. So you can untick that, and then obviously if you really care about optimizing for image search, you can untick this, and ShortPixel will not remove any of your EXIF data, which is, for example, location, type of the camera, raw image name, some additional details about your camera, like colors and stuff, and a lot of other things. Basically, it might sometimes be significant, but obviously it depends what you need. I'm gonna go with this option here. Now you can also select that ShortPixel resizes your large images. So let's say, for example, you have your images in 4K, and you know that only a handful of your users use 4K screen resolution. So this is where you might wanna resize all of this. Now in the advanced settings, you can add additional media folder. If, for example, you don't use WordPress to upload all of your images, you upload them through your FTP or something like that. You can also select, this is very useful by the way, you can also select to convert all of your PNG images to JPEG. Obviously, if they don't have any transparency, which ShortPixel checks for you. And the thing is, JPEG images usually are smaller than PNG images, so so this option is very useful. I never used the second one, which came up as soon as I selected this one, which says also force the conversion of images with transparency. This is because if some of your images have transparent background, if you force them to still get converted into JPEGs, they will lose this transparent background. Now, CMYK to RGB conversion is something that I would really suggest you go with, and this basically converts the color scheme of your images from CMYK, which is mostly designated for print, into RGB, which is usually which is most popular for screen display. Now you can also get ShortPixel to create WebP images. WebP is basically a new format of graphics. Now it's very small compared to JPEG or PNG. It also has transparency as PNGs do, but the problem is sometimes some browsers do not support WebP images, and I know that some versions of Safari don't support WebP images, so it's worth to compare whether or not your users are using Safari, right? So this option is basically, well, you should use it based on whether or not your users are mainly on Safari or some other browsers. Optimize retina images, that speaks for itself. Optimize other thumbs. This is when you have them unlisted. You can also select ShortPixel to optimize PDF documents. Well, obviously it depends whether or not you have a lot of PDF documents and if you need any of additional data coded into PDF, because obviously ShortPixel will remove all of this data. You can do exclusions in what it's optimizing. If your site is using any auth credentials, then obviously you can type them here. And this is quite important because it basically saves you from running optimizations on your media library manually. So leave that ticked up. Now, process and front end, it also optimizes the images that any of your users upload. And then you have some thumbnail sizes here. This is when I mentioned, if you select this option to optimize thumbnails here, it will also run through all of these. So you'll have your main image and then all of the thumbnails that are selected here. Now, this option here, Cloudflare API, this is very useful if you're using Cloudflare. So basically, you can type in your zone ID and your token or API key from Cloudflare, and then ShortPixel will ensure that upon every single optimization of an image, it will let Cloudflare know that Cloudflare should invalidate cache for that very image. And lastly, we've got statistics here. So now, to summarize the options that I usually use, especially for on client sites, I do want to have a backup of all of the images. I do remove EXIF, I do optimize thumbnails. I usually leave that as is now. I do want to use WebP images. In most cases, however, I would first check with Google Analytics what are the browsers that my users are using. And as a rule of thumb, if it was less than 2% of users on Safari, then I would go with WebP. If there weren't, then I would probably not go with WebP. Yes, I want all of these. Yes, I want all of these. Yes, I want this to happen on upload. And that's it. Now, once I save this, actually I should have gone with the other option, save and go to bulk process. And this is going to take you to your media library, right? And it summarizes how many original images you have, how many thumbnails you have. You have one more chance to opt out from optimizing thumbnails, and one more option to do WebP versions. When you're ready, click Optimize, and it's going to go through and optimize all of your images. Now, as it's going through it, I hope I'll get to show you one more thing. Yes, maybe no. But basically, as it goes through it, it shows you the original image and the optimized image, so you can basically compare how they look like, right? And on the right here, it shows you how many percent optimization it's got for that very image. And if you look at these two, for example, you can't really tell any difference. And there was like 18, or in this case 26% of saved space, and in terms of the how big the image is, its size. So I think this saving, like here, close to 30% is like pretty significant, right? So I'm gonna wait a little while until it's all done. and then when it finishes, it has a statistics field in here. So I'm going to open it in a different browser window because that's an important thing. This one needs to be open in order for ShortPixel to actually do its job. But in the meantime, I'm going to go to Tools, Settings and ShortPixel. Go to Statistics, and you can already see how much data it's consumed, it's used, and how much space it saved, and what's the average percentage of the files. Okay, so it's finished. On average, it saved 30%. Optimized all of these images. If you want to, you can also re-optimize all of the images in your media library. And the last option here is you can bulk restore the images that it had saved for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and in any case, if you have any questions or want to share your experiences with ShortPixel, or you want to see what else you can do with ShortPixel, or have any other plugins that you want to recommend to me, then obviously get in touch, and as always, have a nice day.